So we've got the TMC Y62 paddle shifter kit that's arrived. I'll just go through everything you need to fit it and how it all goes together. So that's the control box, so that's going to go under the gear selector, plug and play. We've got the mount that's going to go behind the steering wheel on the column. So no drilling, no holes, all plug and play. So let's get this one out. Oh, there we go. So that's all aluminium and anodized. So there we go. In here we've got the switches and the paddles. All right. Let's have a look at this. All right. Pull these out. So there's two different types of the carbon. There's a gloss finish and a matte. So these are the matte finish. We got positive and negative. So up, down. We need to pre-mount these before we install it in the car. So I'm going to do that now. In here there should be some screws and Allen keys. Pop these out. Rubbish. So we want the two short screws. So the longer ones we don't need at all, so you can just get rid of them. Okay. That's the bigger Allen key. We've also got two screws here. So these are going to replace two existing screws in the car. They're a little bit longer. So we'll get to that on the actual install itself. First, let's get these in place. So they've got some locating holes there. So you just need to make sure that lines up. There we go. Right, and the shorter ones. Screw them in. Oh. Oh, there we go. Nice and tight. At the same time, just double check these are nice and tight and pushed all the way in. Yep. Yep. Alright, do the other side. That is all done. We'll loosen this off, get it in the car. I'll just go through the tools we need for the install as well. So we're going to need these screws. So I'll take them out now. I like to get everything in nice and organised. So screws in there. You need a 10mm for disconnecting the battery. You're going to need a little small precision flathead. Fat flathead, it can be long or short, doesn't matter. Phillips head. And a T27H, so you've got the hole in it. So you need that for the airbag removal. Lastly, to get the steering wheel off, just a 19mm on impact. All right, let's load this up and head out to the car. All right, good tip before you disconnect the battery is have your steering wheel dead straight. So be sure taking the wheel on and off. I've already done this. All right, so once you've got the battery disconnected, we're going to go ahead and remove the airbag now. So we need to remove this little plastic hole cover. There's one on either side. Just be careful when you flick it out with a screwdriver. They do sometimes go flying. So, oh, there we go. All right, then you grab your T27, I think it was I said, with a hole in it. Yep, T27H. So you want to get in there. Now when you're undoing it, just try and be careful to get it back out the hole. Sometimes it will fall in below, but look, you can get it back out once you've got the steering wheel back on. So let's get this one. All right, and then on the other side, you got to remove the same screw as well for the airbag. So that's out. All right, now I'm gonna jump up in the seat and remove the airbag. So I'll show you how to disconnect that, and we'll do that now. So now we're going to remove the airbag. For this, you're going to need the precision flathead. That one. So you just slide it out, you sort of twist it, and then go upside down like that. There's a little wire here, just unclip from there, gives you a little bit more room. So with the little flathead, you just want to go under this black clip, just gently wiggle it, and it pops up. Once that's up, just comes straight off. So just chuck that aside now. All right, now in here we've got one other little plug we need to undo. You either use a flathead or your fingers. You can probably get your finger in. Oh, and there we go, that's up and out. All right, so now we're going to go for this nut. With the nut, a tip is don't take it all the way off, leave a couple of threads on. So when you're yanking on the wheel, it doesn't just come off and smack you in the face. So we'll quickly do this. There we go, so moving on a couple. All right, so sometimes these can be difficult, but just slowly work it, and they do come off. There you go. Take the nut off. All right, just careful with the wires, and that's it. Steering wheel off. Another just a quick tip, what we've found is some of the back of the Nissan wheels aren't 100% flat and square. We've found some of them, the corners sort of stick up a bit. And because the base plate is only a few mil clearance, sometimes they can just touch. So just quickly while you got your wheel off, just put a straight edge on and see if you do have a raised corner. If you do have a raised corner, I've already filed mine a little, you just grab a flat edge file and you can just gently just take that little bit off. You won't see that anyway because that's flush against the base plate. Just give a little file on the corners and that's it. You should be right now and you'll have no clearance issues at all. All right, so now we've got two of the longer screws I pointed out before. They're actually replacing these two, so these don't need to go back on. So I'll pull these out now. All right, now there is actually a third screw. It's a bit hard to see, sometimes you've got to get underneath, but right where your little adjuster lever is in the column, you'll remove that screw as well. We're going to take this bottom plastic, we need to drop this down as well. So I'm going to find this screw and pop it out. All right, so just the screw underneath here, pop that out, there we go. All right, so now you just need a flathead just to push on here and it just pushes the clips up. I'll just do that one. So you just give it a little push. There we go. A push. And that'll just pop off. And down. So I was going to rest it on the floor for now. Yeah, I'm going to start working on the shift knob and the center. We need to get this side cover off as well so we can run the lines through. So with the shift knob removal, it's actually quite easy. You just sort of pull down and that will unclip. And there's a little metal clip under here. You can feel with your nail. You just push it back a little. You don't have to pull it out and that slides off. So that's a little clip there. Then you can just pop the shift knob up and out of the way. All right, so now with this, you can just grab it firmly by each side and just give it a bit of a pull up. And that's it. That's all we need to do. Now we're going to work on this corner piece. Now, this corner, getting this out can be tricky. It's got little hooks in. Takes a bit of wiggling to get it. Don't yank it too hard, because you will break your clips. Just slowly work it. You sort of got to hold this out the way at the same time. There we go. There we go. Then just pop it out the way. There we go. Now we're going to start, I'll jump out the car, it's easy, jump out the car and do it and run the wires through and get the steering wheel reassembled. This is probably the trickiest bit of all. You've got to sort of thread the cables through your column and get everything mounted up. So let's start doing that now. So you want to go through here. All right. Now the tricky bit, you still got to hold that together. Now you got your little steering column adjustment here. So you want to put the cable, give it a pull, and it will actually tuck in this lever here. So then from that, you can then run this all the way down to your feet. Oh, if you've got skinny hands, it is easier. Alright. Nearly there. Yep. Alright. Whoa. Back out. So then you can sort of pull your cable through the bottom. Alright. At the same time, you want to clip this back up. Clip, clip. Alright, that's where we pull the excess cable down with it. Alright, that through. That sits on there. Pull the cable tight. That should all sit in there nicely. Alright, and this is where we use those longer screws that come in the pack, just to go in here. So I'll quickly pop them on. Alright, so that one and that one. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll jump back in, we'll get the wheel reassembled. Done that bit, put the original screw underneath the column as well. Put that one in. Alright, that's in. Alright, just move these wires, you can move these to the side. Alright, jump in, I'm going to put the wheel back on now. Alright, we're going to go through, I'm going to show you the advanced install here, which is a full wire concealment. So this is different to the basic install, which is plug and play. So this requires some drilling and cutting to basically hide the wires. Do recommend this be done by a professional install, but I'll run through it anyway. So you got your plate. Right now, I'm just going to remove the plate, just let it hang down. We just want to mark where we want to put the wires through. So got this line here, we just want to go just below, about there. That's going to be your entry point. Same on the other side. All right, because we're actually going to be doing a slit across all the way to this outer edge, which the wires are going to run through. So I'm going to take this off now, and then we'll run through cutting it. Okay, so now we've got the lower center plastic off. A little black mark where I've marked. So we want to put just a hole through here, and then we're going to be cutting a straight line through just so we can get the wires through. Just be careful when you're drilling, because you want to make sure you clear on the other side here. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see, but you don't want to be hitting the side. You want to be coming through nicely. So let's give this a shot. Yeah, nice and easy. And then same on the other side. Alright, so now we're just going to have to do a slit along here. I'm just going to use my Dremel with a little blade on it just to cut along nice and fine. Alright, I'm just going to mark a straight line to follow, just to try and make it a little bit easier. Okay, I'll just do the other side as well. There we go. Alright, let's grab the Dremel now. We'll just give it a quick cut. then we're just going to use, sometimes these just flake off. If not, you can just use a little file. Just scrape all the muck off. You do want to get it all off, otherwise the plate won't sit flush across the top. So you can basically just peel it off your fingers. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, we'll go pop it back on and thread the wires through. Alright, so we'll fit this back in now and thread the wires through. Just work out which ones you're up and down. So your positive should be on your right side. So should be able to start thread the wires through there, so it comes out the end. If you've cleaned it up good, it's pretty easy. Oh. There we go. In. We can sort that out and pull it tight a bit later. Just get them both in and up and clipped on first. There we go. Right, so just make sure the wires are tucked out the way into the side. So just make sure it's running down the left-hand side of this bolt, just so it doesn't get caught. I'll be clear of everything. It's back on. That should be able to feed in. All right. Put our plate back on. Alright, just make sure you've got your length there before you do it up. There we go. Another tip is with the Allen bolts, just a dob of Loctite as well. Just when you put it on, just stops them all coming loose again. Right, and then just repeat same thing for the other side. And you'll see now the side here, all your wiring's all neat and tidy. Alright, just grab your steering wheel, airbag wire, just go through the middle. Okay, make sure it's lined up center. Put a little clip in. Alright, make sure you clip your controls back in there. Excellent. Alright, that one back on. About 2 ugger-duggers. That's good. I'll get the airbag back on now too. So just remember, you've got to be that way upside down. And place the wire in, that just sort of slides in, and then you push this black clip down. That's it, that's back in, rotate it, slip it back in. Now you're just going to put the 2 screws back in behind and your plastic clips back on. So I'll quickly do that. There we go. And then plastic clip, and same with the other side as well. There we go. And the little plastic clip. Done. All right, so now we want to route these wires basically behind here, through, and then into the center. So you should be able to just feed them through. Fingers. There we go. That was easy. And then into there. So I'm going to lift this up and grab that wire and pull it through. So come up, come up. Lift that one up. Your hand in. Oh. There we go. Just pull that one through. That's it. Alright, I'll jump back in and I'm going to put this side cover on here. So this side cover back on, and then we'll plug the module in underneath. Alright, so we'll grab our side cover and get this all back in here. Again, just a bit of wiggling. Just get it in its position. So, sort of falls in, and then you can wiggle the clips in and into the side. There we go. All right, so now we're going to get the control box under. So got this box here. All right, so we lift this one up. Now it's completely plug and play. So there's this little connector here. You can just push with your fingers and then it'll come out. All right, so slide the box in. We'll start with the paddle switches. So that's that 3 triangle plug. Let's get that plugged in first. Make sure you hear a click. There we go. All right, next we'll go back into the shifter, and the wire we remove from the shifter goes into the box there. All right, let me try it. Oh. All clicked. That's it. So now we'll pop this back down. All on. All right, shifter on. Just you left that metal clip in. It's just a slide down, little click. And that all done. All right, all good to go. We'll go give this a test. All right, so we'll give this paddle shifter kit a test. So just flick it over in manual mode like you normally would, and that activates both the shifter and the paddles. So, yep, straight down. Done. And then we'll go to the shifter. I am not a mechanic. I do not know what I'm doing. I'm pretty useless with tools, so whatever I do, don't copy, don't follow.